Study Session 7. Religious Institutions. Introduction. The topic you will be learning in this study session is a familiar one, just like the others you have learned in the preceding sessions. As the session title indicates, our focus in this study session will be on religion. Do you know what religion is? I guess you do, because you possibly belong to a religious affiliation. However, you will be learning about religion from a sociological perspective. Religion is an important aspect of African societies. Though religion takes different forms and is expressed in different ways, it is a universal institution. That is, it is found in all human societies. In this chapter, you will learn about the meaning of religion, its elements, African traditional religions, religious practitioners, amongst others. Go through the study session carefully and acquaint yourself with the basic terms related to the concepts of religion. Learning outcomes. After studying this study session, you should be able to 1. Define and use correctly all of the keywords printed in bold. 2. Explain how religion is a social institution. 3. Identify the characteristics of religion. 4. Mention and explain the various types of religious practitioners. 5. Discuss the meaning of African traditional religion and their world of spirits. 6. Describe the aspects of the Yoruba religion. 7. Explain what is meant by the religion of the oppressed. The meaning, characteristics, and practitioners of religion. What is religion? There is no singular definition for what scholars and laypersons see as religion. However, for this study, Kendall 2006 definition of religion will be used. According to him, religion is a system of beliefs, symbols, and rituals based on some sacred or supernatural realm that guides human behavior, gives meaning to life, and unites believers into a community. Religions are mainly categorized by their beliefs and gods. There are 3 main types of beliefs, namely monotheism, polytheism, and atheism. Monotheism is the belief in only one God. Christianity, Judaism, and Islam are 3 good examples of religions that believe in only one God. Polytheism is the belief in the plurality of gods. Hinduism and Buddhism are examples of religions with belief in many gods. Atheism is the belief that there is no God. Religion as a social institution. The 5 religions mentioned above in the examples are also the major types of religions in the world. As a social institution, religion is a pattern of social action organized around the beliefs and practices that people develop to answer questions about the meaning of existence. As an institution, religion persists over time and has an organizational structure into which members are socialized. Religion helps to integrate members of the society into the values of the society and helps to bind people together in times of crisis or confusion, as well as in times of celebration or festivities. The characteristics of religion. Religion has some elements embedded in it. One of the characteristics of religion is the concept of belief. Beliefs are sets of doctrines that define a group's assent to the basic questions of life, conduct, and salvation. They are propositions which members of society believe to be true and are culturally instituted. Beliefs have 2 dimensions, namely the sacred and the profane. The sacred is believed to have supernatural qualities. It is seen as divine and therefore must be treated with reverence. The profane is that which is seen as secular, common, or ordinary. Another element of religion is ritual. Rituals are a set of actions often believed to have symbolic value prescribed by religion and performed at regular intervals for the purpose of reinforcing beliefs, traditions, and practices. It is a kind of routine that reinforces faith. Through rituals, beliefs are explained, taught, and made real through ceremonies. Religious practitioners. In this section, we will only consider 3 popular types of religious practitioners in indigenous African religion. These are shamans, priests, and prophets. Shamans and priests can be said to be religious specialists in a given society who have a connection to the deities who control the supernatural. A shaman is an individual practitioner whose unusual powers are personal in nature. He is not part of an organized religion and is in direct contact with the spirit world, usually through a trance state. He usually owes no formal obligation to any factor within the community itself for his or her position. On the other hand, a priest or priestess is a religious leader who is part of an organized religion. A form of priest's initiation and ceremonial activities are carried out for them before their inductions as members of an established religious organization. Be that as it may, different religions have different terms for these individuals. They could be known as rabbis, ministers, mullahs, or imams. As for a prophet or prophetess, he or she is an individual who receives divine revelation concerning a society or an individual, concerning certain things that need to be done or certain steps that need to be taken to achieve an outcome. African traditional religions. Africans have their own traditional religions, and each religious expression is unique to the community or society where it is being practiced. The traditional religions of Africa embody the indigenous beliefs and practices of African societies that predate the modern period. Generally, the people of Africa believe in and worship one supreme deity. Although the supreme deity or the high god is not in the same form in their beliefs, he is also not worshipped with the same vigor among the different societies. For instance, the Yorubas in Nigeria believe in a supreme god called Olodumare. He is believed to have created the world and given the first humans their present habitation. The Inyoro people of Kenya call God Ruhanga, while the Sere people of Senegal and the Gambia believe in a universal supreme deity called Roog. One peculiar feature of African religion is that it is based mainly on oral transmission. Rituals, shrines, and festivals are also inherent in traditional African religion. While Western religion depends on missionaries to spread their beliefs among other nations, African indigenous beliefs are not propagated this way. Indigenous African religious beliefs are unique to the people and are preserved and passed down orally among the people from generation to generation. Another main feature of African indigenous religion is magic, witchcraft, and sorcery. These 3 are different but related. They are important aspects of beliefs about the interactions between the natural and the supernatural. People associated with these practices are believed to have the skills to manipulate the relations between the two worlds. Types of spiritual forces and worship practices. African world of spirits. Though religious practices are different from culture to culture, there are similarities among them. Scholars use some terms to designate these frequently found features. The categories and subcategories are many. However, the more common ones will be discussed in this study. One of these common beliefs and practices is mana. Mana is believed to be an impersonal power running through everything, but which accumulates in special objects such as statues or special human skills. It is a belief in a supernatural power or influence. The term originally came from a widespread Polynesian belief. Another common practice and belief is fetishism. Fetishism is a belief that there is power in inanimate objects. These may involve touching, worshipping, praying to, and even weeping the objects. Animism is another common practice. Animism is the view that the natural world is animated or moved by spirits. For instance, the flowing river, the blowing wind, plants and trees are seen as inhabited by spirits. In addition, animal spirits worship practices are done in some African countries. This practice involves animal worship. For example, lizards are revered in Madagascar, an African country located in the southeastern part of the continent, while in some parts of West Africa, leopards are revered. One of the most well-known types of animal worship is totemism, which is a mystical relationship of kinship unit or clan with a plant or animal or some natural phenomena. Sometimes the totem is ritually eaten, other times there is a taboo against killing it. Another religious practice and belief system among Africans is ancestral spirit. You can also refer to it as ancestors worship. A belief in ancestral spirits rests on the conviction that the spirit parts of humans, after departing from the body, continue to exist in some form. Rituals are made to these spirits, especially spirits of important or influential people, to give tribute and or make appeasement to them by their living descendants. Those who believe in the worship of the spirits of their ancestors believe that the spirits have emotions, feelings, and appetites like living people, and they must be treated well to assure their continued goodwill and assistance to the living. This is done through what is called ancestor veneration. Another variant of belief in the spirits of the dead is spiritism. This has to do with communication with the dead through a medium. Aspects of Yoruba religion. The Yoruba people are located in the western part of Africa, and they have one of the largest ethnic groups in sub-Saharan Africa. The religion of the Yoruba people connotes their indigenous beliefs, which has passed down from one generation to the other through oral history. It is worthy of note that Yoruba religion is diverse and has no single founder. Apart from the belief in the supreme god, which they call Olodumare, they also believe in some lesser gods or deities which they see as subordinate to the supreme being. In Yoruba belief system, Olodumare has total control and power over the universe and no one can question him. Apart from Olodumare, the Yoruba believe in and worship other divinities called Orisha in the Yoruba language. These divinities are believed to have control over specific elements in nature. One of these divinities is Obatala, who they believe was sent by Olodumare to create the world. Obatala created humans out of earth, while Olodumare gave the breath of life to them. Tradition has it that following his return to heaven, Obatala's immediate descendants began to maintain a shrine for the very structure in which they themselves were created from, clay, and where God first gave men and women his greatest gift, the breath of life. Thereafter, members of the family were, and still are, installed as priests, responsible for remembering the intricate and poetic commemorative ceremonies of their ancestor, Obatala. Other divinities indigenous Yoruba people also believe in and worship are Orunmila, believed to be the god of knowledge, Ogun, the god of iron, Sango, the god of thunder, Yemoja and Oshun, mothers or gods of fertility who are associated with water, amongst others. Another important component of the Yoruba religion is the belief in Irumoles, who are spirits or entities sent by the Olodumare to complete given tasks. All these deities or divinities have peculiar shrines, rituals, and festival periods assigned to their worship. The religion of the oppressed. Karl Marx, 1818 to 1883, a German sociologist and political philosopher, championed the view that religion is the opium of the masses. This expression is used to explain the fact that religion perpetuates social oppression. It is an instrument used by the elite to secure their control over the poor or less privileged. Marx believes that religion makes people passive, non-resistant, and adopt the moral virtues of suffering and hope. Just like late Fela Anikulapo Kuti sang in his song, Suffering and Smiling. To illustrate this point, let us use slavery as an example. From historical facts, slave owners used religion as a tool of oppression against black slaves. Slaves were required to attend the church belonging to their white owners in town and listen to a white preacher who always admonishes them to be submissive and obedient to their masters, not to steal their masters' farm produce or flocks, and remain faithful to their owners no matter what. All these amidst forced labor, dehumanization, and deprived human rights. Other forms of social oppression perpetrated by religion can also be found in issues concerning men's superiority to women and the belief that some races or castes are superior to others. In all these cases, the oppressed are often molded into happily accepting their assigned inferior status, or when that's not possible, they are taught to at least suffer in silence. In summary, religion is like the two sides of a coin. Religion brings some good in a sense, but is also capable of being used to perpetuate great social evils through becoming an instrument of harm. Activity. How is religion a social institution? Activity feedback. Religion is a social institution in that it helps to socialize and integrate members of the society into the values of the society, and also helps to bind people together in times of crisis or confusion, as well as in times of celebration or festivities. Study session summary. In study session 7, you have learned that 1. Religion is universal and it is an important aspect of African life. 2. Religion is a social institution that helps to socialize and integrate individuals into the society and also serve as a binding force in times of crisis or celebration. 3. Beliefs and rituals are major components of religion. 4. Shamans, priests and prophets are common religious practitioners in every religion who serve to mediate between the members of the society and the supernatural world. 5. Traditional African beliefs and practices are varied with deep-seated conviction in the existence of spirits who have powers over humans. 6. Yoruba religion is the religious beliefs of the Yoruba people. Apart from believing in a supreme being called Olodumare, they also believe in other smaller deities called Orisha and special spirits called Irumole, whom they worship. 7. Although something good is inherent in religion, it can be used as an instrument of social oppression. That ends study session 7. Thank you for listening.